Theo is seriously a furball right now. I can't with this. I brush him once a week and he's still just like a fluff monster. I love it so much. Look at those toes. Oh my gosh. And this is exactly why I always have cat hair all over my face in my videos, because I like grab my cats and put them on my face. Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new here, welcome. My name is BrittanyNichole and today I'm sharing with you what I feel like is a straight up dupe copy, I don't know what I want to call this, of the JACLYN Hill highlight collection, or holiday collection, whatever it's called. I don't know why it's called the holiday collection. I guess because it's coming out around the holidays, but I feel like it should be called the highlight collection because it's all highlighters, but whatever. So anyway, I am an Ulta Diamond member, so you have different levels, like there's the first level, second level is diamond, then it's platinum. When you're in like the diamond or platinum level, you get special offers. So I got an email about a week ago from Ulta saying that I had the chance to buy the NYX High Glass collection before it actually launched. This actually launches on December 26th. But I got to buy it beforehand and I did overnight shipping because I needed to get my hands on them because I thought they would be exact dupes for the JACLYN Highlight Collection. So first of all, let me tell you, I did not purchase that collection. It was just out of my price range for what I wanted to spend, and I felt like I had dupes already in my collection, and then I felt like it was just meant to be because I saw this and I feel like it's the exact same. So I don't have those to compare to, but I did want to still put out this video to give you guys some options if you are like me and you didn't want to spend that much money on a product that you couldn't get your hands on beforehand. I'm somebody who usually likes to play with a product, see a product before I purchase it. So even though I didn't do it with this one, but these were affordable. That, not so affordable, in my opinion. So anyway, like I said, this is the NYX High Glass highlights. So they also have a primer. For some reason that wasn't offered in that like email, so they must be launching that at some point, which I might purchase. But for now I have the NYX High Glass finishing powder, which sounds exactly like the JACLYN Hill Moodlight Luminous powder. It's meant to go all over the face or targeted areas where you want more of like a natural glow from within. I picked up the lightest shade light. Comes in 3 shades, light, medium, and dark. And then I also picked up the High Glass Illuminating powder, which is exactly like her Beaming Light Loose powder, except both of these are pressed, obviously. And this is called Moon Glow. And when I saw that, I was like, did they know that JACLYN was launching her highlights and then they wanted to come out with a drugstore alternative? Also because they launched brushes with this collection. They launched 3. I only picked up 2 because one of them is like a foundation brush. It's meant to be used with the primer, but these are meant to be used with the, I'm gonna start confusing names now, the High Glass finishing powder and then the High Glass illuminating powder. So when I saw these, I was like, wow, this is truly what seems to be a drugstore competitor with the JACLYN Hill highlights. So I've been testing them for a few days now and I actually really like them. This, the illuminating powder, is so intense. I was taking like selfies of myself with this and it was like so reflective and just wet looking. It's not very glittery, which is exactly what I love in a highlight. I like more of like a wet look, but this is intense. So you'll want to go easy on this, just like with her Beaming Light. And then the High Glass finishing powder, I personally don't like to apply a translucent finishing powder all over my face. Like, I don't want to highlight this area or this area. I just want to kind of highlight where I would normally highlight, if that makes sense. So I've been mainly focusing this like right above my brow because I do love when you see a little bit of like highlight sheen there. I think it's so beautiful. So that's what I've been using this for. So we're gonna go ahead and demonstrate this today, or I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate this today so you guys can kind of see it in action. And then I'll talk through a couple other highlights that I had in my collection that I think are compatible with her highlights, but more affordable. Starting out with the High Glass finishing powder, like I said, I picked up light. There's light, medium, and dark. Let me scoot in here so you guys can see. Okay, so I just want to show you first the brush we're going to be using. This is the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder Brush, and I'm going to be using it with the High Glass Finishing Powder. So I just want to read to you from the Ulta website what it says. It says the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder is a taper tool with bi-level bristles. It's best for gently sweeping, buffing, and diffusing. The NYX High Glass finishing powder. I'm kind of trying to shorten this so it's not too wordy. Featuring super soft synthetic bristles and a clear glass-like handle, this brush will be a gorgeous addition to your collection. So I'm gonna dip right into the powder, and I haven't actually used these brushes. I've been using my Anastasia A23 brush, right? Yeah, my A23, because I wanted to wait to use these on camera. It does seem to be quite large for something like this. This powder is so soft. Let me swatch it for you guys so you can see. You guys know I'm not extremely good at swatching, but that's what it looks like. Hopefully you guys can see that. I do have a lot of lights on, so that kind of diffuses it, but it's a very, very pretty soft powder. I also applied that on my arm, which has hair on it, so keep that in mind. But here we go. Yeah, I definitely don't prefer this brush. It covers like too much surface area for me. So if you were gonna use this to like set your entire face with the finishing powder, this might be a good option. But for me, I like to be a little more targeted with my application, but you can see how pretty that is. I am gonna grab the smaller brush. Okay, so this is the High Glass Illuminating Powder Brush, and this says the NYX Professional Makeup High Glass Illuminating Powder Brush has angled and domed shaped bristles that hug the curves of the complexion. So basically, this is kinda comparable with the Anastasia A23, but it's a lot bigger and it's synthetic. They are both very soft though. So let me switch over to this one, and we're gonna go ahead and start by using this on the high points of the cheek. And then on the other side, I'm just gonna use the High Glass Illuminating Powder. Yeah, I don't like the brush. I really don't. I definitely prefer the Anastasia, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna use that. I mean, they're very, very pigmented on their own. If you like a glowing from within highlight, I would definitely pick this up. I personally, like I said, would not set my entire face with this because it's just too much. You can see like, it's a very wet looking kind of highlight. And if you applied that like under the eyes and all over the face, I think it might be a little too much, but if you like that look, go for it. So that is what that looks like. I just want to take my Anastasia brush real quick here and just kind of, this kind of glides along the skin a little easier. So I just like it more. But yeah, I mean, that is a lot of highlight for just a finishing powder. All right, so on this side, as you can see, I've got no highlight on my face at all. We're gonna go in with the High Glass Illuminating Powder. This is in Moon Glow. When I saw that name, I was like, even more like, oh my gosh, these are total dupes for the JACLYN Hill highlight. I know her loose highlights, the like one that can go all over the face, is called Mood Light, but when I saw Moonlight, I was like, somehow the makeup world must be connected to each other and they must tell each other about things, or somebody tells somebody about things, because I truly think this is a drugstore dupe for it. So this powder, let me swatch it for you guys again. It feels wet. It almost feels like the ColourPop Super Shock highlights, and like you kind of like dense when you put your finger in it. So if you don't like that formula, you might not like this, but this is so pretty. I think that the ColourPop highlights are stunning. I'm gonna do this right next, I don't even know if you can see it anymore, to the, yeah, I think you kind of can, translucent highlight. So that's one swatch. It's really, really pretty. It looks so much more intense in person. I wish you guys could see it, but beautiful highlight. So let's go ahead and start with the brush that's supposed to go with this, and then if I don't like it, I'll go back in with my Anastasia, but this is so intense. This is the one I'll put a picture in that I took a picture in the dark, and it was just like, whoa, that is highlight. So I'm gonna get a decent amount of product on there, and I'm gonna go ahead and just go in on the high points of the cheek. Yeah, I don't know, for some reason I just feel like this brush just kind of grabs rather than like applies the highlight. It's strange. I think I'm just not used to it. It's almost like I have to like press it into the skin, but see how intense that is? And again, keep in mind, I have 3 lights in front of me. I don't like this. I don't feel like I can apply it as good, but you could see that's very intense. So I'm switching over to my Anastasia A23. I definitely wouldn't recommend picking up those brushes if you were interested in that. I just happened to pick them up because I wanted to kind of show you that they were competing with the JACLYN Causemetics, and I wanted to test them to see if they were good. Plus, I used all my points. I like to kind of use my points at the end of the year, so you could just see how much better this brush is. I would recommend spending your money on these because those brushes were like $15 each from NYX. But yeah, very, very intense, beautiful, wet looking highlight. I think that this competes with her Beaming Light highlights. And I like to kind of curve up around my brow like that, kind of like a C shape. And then I'll just go ahead and apply this above the brow. Very intense, very, very intense. I'm sure these faces I'm making as I highlight are just beautiful, but I mean, I think they're so pretty. I feel like my skin looks wet. They are not glittery at all. It's truly a wet highlight, and I think it is absolutely beautiful. I will be wearing these definitely for the months to come. So what I always do after I highlight is I take my damp sponge and I just press over everything to make sure it looks like it's kind of coming from within rather than sitting on the face. I'm using the Anastasia brush, so this does have some of the illuminating powder on it, but I'm gonna take the finishing powder on the Anastasia brush and I'm gonna run that down the nose. Ooh, that's intense. That is intense. Right on the tip and then on the Cupid's bow. That is very intense. I actually need to touch up my lipstick now. I'm gonna take the illuminating powder and a MAC 219. See, like when I put my brush in there, it leaves that kind of dent because it has that gel-like formula. Love the illuminating for an inner corner highlight. Now, I don't think that the colors are exact dupes. It's kind of just like the whole super highlighted like face powder option and then intense option is really a dupe for what she's offering with her holiday highlight collection. All right, so I just wanted to get really close to show you what everything looks like with the NYX High Glass highlight collection. So again, we have the finishing powder on this side of the face. I think I might like this a little bit more. I think it's a little more intense than like glowing from within, but it is just absolutely beautiful. And then on the other side, we have the High Glass illuminating powder in Moon Glow. Also really pretty. It is a little more intense when the light hits it. You can see it a little bit more. It does look slightly more wet, but again, not glittery at all, just wet looking and beautiful. And that's exactly what I prefer in a highlight. I think this looks so pretty. It really does give that kind of hydrated, wet skin K-beauty kind of look, which is exactly what this collection was trying to kind of go for. Okay, so I did just want to share with you one more option. If you guys were interested in her baked highlight, the accent highlighter palette, from the moment she announced her highlights, I thought of the Becca Chloe Malika collection. You guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, this is one of my favorite palettes. I love the fact that this includes a highlight, a bronzer, and 2 blushes. This is such a gorgeous formula, and it's half off on Haute Look and I think the Becca website as well. So this is the Chloe version for like lighter skin tones. I really like it. If you did want only a highlighter palette, like if you tan a lot and your skin changes colors, so you wanted options, you might love hers more than this, but I love that this includes all options and it's $20. I do want to show you the Malika version as well. I haven't actually opened this yet, but I purchased these from Haute Look and I wanted to stock up, so I did purchase the Malika version as well, which looks like this. Let me just kind of compare this to the Chloe palette. So this is kind of like her Flash and Flare palettes. But again, this has bronzers and blushes, so I did want to show you that. This is the Malika for more tan, deep skin, and then this is the Chloe for lighter skin tones. When I do my self-tan, this works for me as well. So I did want to share that as an option because I immediately thought of that when I saw she launched that. And then again, if you did prefer more loose highlights, I prefer pressed highlights like this. I think this is really easy to travel with. Does it look as pretty as hers? No. And does that influence the price? Of course it does, but this is what I prefer because I don't like bulky packaging at all. I don't have like a makeup room where I can put all my makeup. I just have like some drawers, so something like this works a lot better for me. But some other options, if you do like loose highlighters, Wet n Wild has beautiful, beautiful loose highlights. These are two of them. This is the I'm So Lit, and this is the Moon Tears. So this is an option you can get from the drugstore for like, I think these are under like $7. I want to say they're like $6.99. They're very, very reflective. Let me just show you the I'm So Lit because I'm pretty sure they have this in stores still. I don't want to like swatch everything because I'm just not very good, but like so intense if you guys were looking for loose highlights. I honestly never grab for these because I'm just not a loose highlight girl anymore. And that is really it for this one. So I just wanted to make this video for those of you who, like me, didn't purchase anything from the collection and you kind of wanted something similar. And again, when I saw these on the Ulta website, I was like, what the heck? That is 100% competing with what JACLYN just launched. So again, I do not think that these brushes are really worth it. If you wanted to pick up a brush, I would definitely go for the Anastasia A23 over these. I just personally like this a lot better. If I was gonna recommend one thing, it'd be the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder. I think it is absolutely beautiful and will give you that wet effect without being like too crazy like the Illuminating powder is. But I like them both. I've been wearing them nonstop for the last few days and I will continue to do so. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was somewhat educational. I know I talk a lot. I like to over provide information rather than under provide information personally because there might be one or two people out there who need more information and want more information. And you can always press the fast forward button. So thanks again for watching. If you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram because I will always let you guys know on Instagram when I post a new video. Sometimes YouTube lets you know and sometimes it doesn't. So I will always have your back on Instagram and let you know on my story and on my feed. Thanks again for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.